Live from WTVO Rockford and your home team. Eyewitness News at 5 starts now.
The state of Illinois is coming up with a plan to combat gun violence as the state line holds a community forum discussing crime-fighting solutions.
The plea hearing is set for the Winnebago County coroner accused of several crimes. We'll tell you when that plea could be officially entered.
And May is Stroke Awareness Month, and one of the signs to look out for is high blood pressure. One state line healthcare facility is offering a monitoring system to use at home. Good evening, I'm Mimi Murphy.
And I'm Eric Wilson. The state of Illinois offers funding to reduce gun violence in our communities.
The alarming rise in violent crime in Rockford makes local groups eligible for money to come up with solutions. Nikel Delgado attended a community forum on it today. Nikel, what'd you find out?
That's right, Eric and Mimi. Local community organizers were able to voice their opinions of what is working and what isn't working when it comes to guns in the city.
You know, I've seen the numbers go up and the violence. Actually, within them last month. And I'm just like, what can I do?
What can I do is one of the questions teen director at the YMCA, Tamika Fricks, has been wrestling with. She's relieved others want to take action to figure out how to keep the community and youth safe.
There's other organizations out there that care about what's going on in Rockford, about the teens, and trying to figure out what's, a solution for the violence that's going on.
Chris Patterson led today's roundtable to come up with solutions to the city's gun crimes.
To be able to support one another, action steps, to know that their governor has heard, the cries. Governor J.B. Pritzker has put forward $250 million to address violence reduction across the state of Illinois.
The state created an Office of Firearm Violence Prevention because they see there is a problem.
It's going to take many different approaches in order to address firearm violence, particularly around the state and in places like Rockford. So I appreciate the violence interrupter models, ceasefire models, but we have to focus on our youth development, youth intervention, and working with people who are actually tied in the cycle of violence.
Since Rockford has higher than average gun violence, the city is able to apply for state grants. The money can be used to boost youth development or violence prevention services.
As long as I can get them in and off the street, I'm willing to do it. So if I'm up early in the morning, cooking a hot meal and getting it prepared and then staying late at night, then I'm going to do it.
City leaders say it will take the whole Rockford community to make a difference. It's still too early to know how much or when Rockford will see this funding. Mimi?
Thanks, Nikel. On Saturday, you can voice your concerns about crime at a public safety forum. Rockford Police Chief Carla Redd and Winnebago County Sheriff's Department Deputy Chief Tammy Stanley will be there. It starts at 11 a.m. at Rockford University's Peary School of Business.
There's a date for a possible plea in the misconduct case against Winnebago County Coroner Bill Hintz. The in-person hearing is set for July 14th. He's accused of stealing from the dead and misusing a county credit card. Other charges against Hintz include obstruction of justice and forgery. Hintz's wife, Michelle, is due in court 1 week later, July 21st, for a deferred prosecution. That's for first-time nonviolent offenders and could keep a conviction off her record.
The House passed a pair of bills to address the baby formula shortage. The first would help WIC recipients buy more formula by loosening restrictions on the brands and amounts that qualify for the program. The second would give the FDA $28 million in emergency funding to remove fraudulent baby formula from store shelves and ramp up inspections at plants around the world. Both measures now go to the Senate. The FDA believes a closed baby formula plant in Michigan could reopen within the next 2 weeks. Abbott's plant had to close in February when 4 babies suffered bacterial infections. Shutting the plant down, along with supply chain disruptions, is blamed for the shortage of formula. Today, the head of the FDA said once the plant opens, it will take a few more weeks before supplies return to normal.
Half a dozen people are hurt, including firefighters, after a massive fire at a Wisconsin construction company. The explosion and fire happened early this morning at Eagle's Somerset Marine Construction. That's about 35 miles southwest of Milwaukee. First responders have had trouble getting water. 30 tanker trucks were brought in from nearby Milwaukee and Kenosha counties. Everyone survived, but 3 workers and 3 firefighters are getting treatment. Rescue crews will likely be on the scene through tonight. Congress has finally cleared the way for another aid package for Ukraine. The Senate signed off on the $40 billion package. It now heads to the president's desk. The vote was overwhelmingly bipartisan, with all but 11 Republicans voting in favor. Democratic leaders expect more assistance to Ukraine will be needed in the coming months. President Biden met with the leaders of Sweden and Finland at the White House, where he expressed support for their bids to join NATO.
Two proud, independent countries exercising the sovereign rights all states possess to decide their own security. They meet every NATO requirement and then some. And having two new NATO members in the high north will enhance the security of our alliance and deepen our security cooperation across the board.
Sweden and Finland have been neutral for a long time, but are now bidding to join NATO in response to Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Turkey has expressed opposition, and Russian President Vladimir Putin demands that NATO stop expanding toward Russian borders.
Local patients will now have medical care brought directly to them thanks to a brand new mobile health unit. A first-of-its-kind van will roam the streets of the state line. Medical professionals from UW Health of Northern Illinois will staff it. Services include health screenings, clinics, preventative care, along with basic first aid. Organizers say it's a great way to help people in our area.
This is an opportunity for us to bring education and prevention resources to the community, also to help those individuals that might be uninsured or underinsured. Maybe they don't have a provider, a healthcare provider. We want to help them.
The mobile health unit will also be out at community events, schools, and sporting events.
A state-line healthcare facility has a new program showing the importance of monitoring blood pressure. Crusader Community Health is now offering a self-monitoring blood pressure device for patients. They've partnered up with vendor HealthSnap. Executives say high blood pressure carries a risk of blurred vision, chest pains, and heart attacks. Doctors and patients say it's important to stay on top of your health even when you're at home.
Sometimes coming into the office, patients' blood pressure can be elevated, but checking this in at their house, they get a true picture of what their blood pressure is and also things that affect their blood pressure.
It's nothing to play with. So, I will recommend, people that's battling with high blood pressure to please take your meds and, participate in these type of programs that they offer.
Crusader Community Health administrators say they like that patients who aren't tech savvy are able to use the device. The facility has locations in Rockford, Loves Park, Belvedere, and South Beloit.
As mass shootings increase across the nation, lawmakers think it's time to create an active shooter alert system.
Coming up, one lawmaker says it needs to be done to keep communities safe.
And a building is struck by a car on the state line. Coming up at 6, we hear from someone who saw the crash happen.
And temperatures for us here this afternoon have made it into the 80s with the sunshine. Find out how long that warmth will stick around. All coming up in your most trusted forecast a little later.
You're watching Eyewitness News, your home team with Eric Wilson, Mimi Murphy, Scott Leber, and Chief Meteorologist Candace King.
Following years of mass shootings, including one last week in Buffalo, lawmakers believe there's a need for an active shooter alert system nationwide.
Basil John reports on how this Amber Alert-like system would help communities as he keeps you connected to the nation's capital.
We can't become numb to these events.
Rhode Island Democratic Congressman David Cicilline believes more needs to be done to keep communities safe during an active shooting.
We have to give law enforcement every tool they need to neutralize these threats and really mitigate the harms that come from them.
Cicilline, along with Michigan Republican Congressman Fred Upton, want to create an active shooter alert system that works like an Amber Alert.
It's really easy to send the signal within a certain amount of space to say, watch out, take cover.
Both lawmakers see this as a necessary step to deal with the mass shootings plaguing the country.
Get innocent people out of the area so that they can protect the rest of us.
The bill they're sponsoring would also appoint an active shooter alert coordinator from the Department of Justice to develop best practices for the system.
It's a bill that needs to be passed and sent to the President of the United States.
California Democratic Congressman Mike Thompson and South Carolina Republican Congresswoman Nancy Mace are lending their support.
There is no reason not to do this legislation right now. There is no greater, more urgent need than right now.
Cicilline expects the bill to receive heavy bipartisan backing and pass in June. Reporting in Washington, I'm Basil John.
Next Tuesday, GOP contenders for Illinois governor will face off in a debate over on Fox 39. One Republican will be picked in the June 28th primary to face off against Governor J.B. Pritzker in November. Watch the Illinois Republican primary gubernatorial debate on Fox 39 Tuesday, May 24th at 7 at night. It's kind of a mix of sun and clouds today in the state line. Temperature, though, soared back into the 80s.
Yeah, nice warm up. When we come back, Candace tells us about a big temperature drop coming up in the forecast.
Now, your first warned weather forecast from Chief Meteorologist Candace King.
Well, things are pretty quiet but warm out there this evening. A live look with our Mercial Skytrack camera now out in Rochelle. Notice the wind starting to pick up just a bit, but we've gotten rid of the cloud cover that we had out there earlier today. Even had a couple of very light showers kind of pass through as a disturbance worked up to the north of us. Warm front lifting up to the north, which is why our temperatures have warmed so quickly here over the last couple of hours. Severe weather ongoing up to the northwest, and that is where it's going to stay for much of this evening. We still have a few severe thunderstorm warnings now just to the south and southwest of Minneapolis, and then to the north of La Crosse, moving into west central Wisconsin. All of this activity will stay to our north in Wisconsin here for tonight. So you've got plans for this evening, should have no issues with that. It's warm out there, big jump in our temperatures. Remember, we were only 62 degrees yesterday, and today we've had those numbers climb into the 80s. We're at 85 right now in Rockford, 83 in Freeport, 86 down in Dixon, Sterling, Rochelle, and 83 in DeKalb. The good news, though, with this heat, we're not seeing a lot of humidity out there. It will go up a little tonight just as we continue with that southerly wind and we have more moisture. So through the evening and overnight, you're going to notice a little bit of an uptick in some of that humidity here going into tomorrow morning. But for most of the night tonight, we should stay dry. Now, temperatures this morning got down into the 50s. Tonight, we stay in the low to mid 60s just as we hang on to that southerly wind. Thunderstorm activity up to the north for tonight, but we are keeping an eye on tomorrow morning because the storm complex developing out in Iowa later tonight most likely will move in our direction and move east, cross over the Mississippi River just before daybreak tomorrow morning. As it does, could bring around of some heavy rainfall, and we might have to watch just how that storm complex holds together, because if it does, we could then add in a wind and maybe even a small hail threat with that going into the morning tomorrow. But this is ahead of that cold front that will come through during the first half of our Friday. So we hang on to that thunderstorm chance during the morning tomorrow, and then just isolated chances once we get into tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening. Looks like that front will come through right around the noon hour. Now notice when you look at temperatures too, you're able to kind of see where that front lies. Futurecast has us in the 80s tomorrow. I think we stop in the 70s, upper 70s, but even behind that, temperatures will begin to cool. So that front comes through between about 11 and 1, 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. As that continues to build to the east of us, we'll likely see some thunderstorms develop along that. But again, that threat, I think, is going to be more focused towards tomorrow evening to the east and to the southeast. A greater threat for us for rain and thunderstorms, and a low-end risk for a few gusty winds will be tomorrow morning. Heading out to City Market there tomorrow afternoon, you might just have to keep an eye on the radar because I am going to hold on to some isolated showers and thunderstorms during that time. We keep that cloud cover around then on Saturday. We don't see much warmth, unfortunately. We've got showers that'll be with us, kind of picking up a little more Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening, but by Sunday we do start to dry things out. So our rain chance here as we go throughout the day on Friday, highest before noon and then isolated towards tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening. We need the rainfall. While we have not had any change in the latest drought monitor from last week to this week, we are running dry for the month of May, still dealing with those abnormally dry conditions, but notice no change both in Illinois. Same Same thing for Wisconsin too. So that is good, but we do need that moisture here as we're starting to see some of those drier conditions prevail. 66 degrees, that's where we head for the night tonight. Winds will stay a little on the breezy side from the south at about 25 miles per hour. And tomorrow too, the wind will be gusty at times, 79, and then our temperatures will gradually drop back as we go throughout the day. Our wind will shift around from the southwest to the northwest, and then we kind of hang on to that northerly wind direction on Saturday. You see what it does to our temperatures. We're right back down into the low 60s for Saturday. I think we see more sunshine then by Sunday, Monday. Don't look too shabby, and then we'll bring back some of that rainfall as we head into the middle to end of next week, and temperatures should be warming up as well.
Even with those 60s, the sunshine's going to make things feel a little bit better.
For sure.
Thanks, Candace.
Scott's in next with sports. Tiger Woods is trying again to recapture his old form at another major golf tournament.
And Illini standout Kofi Cockburn wants to show NBA scouts he's worthy of being a high draft pick.
Now sports with sports director Scott Leber.
Tiger Woods says he's a lot stronger than he was a month ago when he played in the Masters. But after the first round of the PGA Championship today in Tulsa, he is worse off than he was after the first round at Augusta. He started well playing the back nine. He birdied the 10th hole. Then here on the par 3 14th hole, he was on target with a long birdie putt. He was 2 under at that point. But he bogeyed 5 of the next 8 holes. He had 7 bogeys overall. Here chipping from the rough on the 9th hole, he flubs it right back into the rough. Woods finished the round 4 strokes over par. He'll need a big day tomorrow to make the cut. The clubhouse leader at 5 under par is Rory McIlroy. The Ice Hogs are headed into their off season, but there is still work to do for rookie forward Lukas Reichel. He's been added to Germany's team at the International Ice Hockey Federation World Championships. That's already underway in Finland and continues through the end of the month. Reichel was the Ice Hogs' leading scorer this season. In 56 games, he accounted for 57 points. He was the Blackhawks' first-round draft pick 2 years ago. Dakota High School is the new head girls basketball coach, although he's not exactly new. He's Eric Rankin. He was Dakota's head coach before for 10 seasons, from the mid-90s through 2006. His Dakota teams won 174 games over that stretch. His 2001-02 team won a sectional championship. Rankin replaces Kevin Klein. Klein stepped down after 16 seasons as the head coach. Illini center Kofi Cockburn is trying to improve his stock for the NBA draft next month. He's in Chicago this week along with 40 other prospects participating in the NBA's draft combine. He's going through all the usual drills while NBA scouts watch. Despite his All-America status in college, Cockburn is considered a marginal NBA prospect. Like Ayo Dosunmu last year, he might not be selected into the second round unless he can change the views of scouts this week. That's sports. We'll be right back.
Candace will have another look at weather coming up in just a moment.
First, here's a preview of what's coming later on News Nation.
Tonight, new information on the deadly California church shooting. We uncover the connection between the alleged gunman and Chinese intelligence. Plus, how the plan to pay college athletes might cost 2 of the biggest names in college football their jobs. That's On Balance tonight.
You can watch News Nation on the stations you see here or go to newsnation.com.
The First Warn Interactive Radar brought to us by Rockford Auto Glass and More. We've had some showers pass up to the north of us here late this afternoon. Our skies, they have cleared out. This has warmed our temperatures into the 80s for us today. Tonight we dropped down to about 66 degrees. Now there is a chance for some thunderstorms early tomorrow, so we'll watch for that. Isolated chance as we head into tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening. A few showers will stay with us on Saturday, staying in the 60s for next week.
All right, thanks Candace.
And thank you for spending time with us. Stay safe.